And I didn't want to be a person for anyone to point to and say, this is the reason why I will not try. This is the reason why I will not live. Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. I'm back with another question from the audience. This is from Liz. Her question starts with a preamble. She says, Tony Robbins describes a process where you write in first person, present tense, about the life you want to have in 5 years. I did it once over 10 years ago, and everything I put in it came true. I just did it again today. My question is, what is your life like in 5 years? So I love this question. And what I think is really interesting about my life is that I have constantly been trying to plan out the entire thing. I remember back in 2016, 2017, I was in this arts group called the Sanctuaries, and I met with the Reverend who led the whole program, and he was asking me about my goals. And I was like, very seriously, I was like, yeah, so right now I am an associate at this nonprofit. I'm gonna get promoted to manager, and then I'll like director, maybe do a lateral move or two, climb the chain, vice president, president. Then I'll be like executive director of like a bunch of different nonprofits, hop through those, be on a bunch of boards, and then I'm gonna die. And he was like, oh, is that that's the plan? I was like, yep. And I was serious. I knew it. I was like, that is the plan. Truly within 5 years, all of that. Now I don't work in nonprofit anymore. I have no desire to climb any ladders. I'm not on any boards. I actually ended up being on the board of that organization, which became a nonprofit. And then a few weeks ago, when I was at the Timeless Wisdom training with Thomas Hübl, I was having a conversation with Thomas Hübl. And he was telling me about like his work and the work they do healing collective trauma. And I was like, ooh, that sounds like a whole lot. You know, I was like, I don't know if that really aligns with my purpose. And he was like, and what do you see your purpose being in life, Chimdi? And I was like, Oprah. So if you've been following me, you've known that I've been calling myself a media mogul, that I've got my podcast and I've got this YouTube channel, and you know, I'm doing all these different creative things. And so for a while, that was my new thing. This was only a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, I'm realizing that change happens fast. It's really interesting because I had the same sort of mindset. I just shifted it to a different industry where I was like, actually, now I want to be this media mogul person. I want to have this network and I want to have all these different avenues and blah, blah, blah. And he similarly just gave me a very compassionate look. I really was reflecting on this last night, and I was like, people have had so much grace with me, and I can only imagine. And these have all been like older white men that I've been telling these things to, and they are just like, like they don't discourage me. They don't say you can't do it. They just are like, okay. And they just let me be on my journey, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. But I must say that I've been feeling into the reality and the truth of what I actually want to do and be in this world. And truly life itself answers the question, right? So I will only know what my purpose was in my life when it ends, and we see what it ended up being, right? And I'm the kind of person where I realize I really enjoy the surprises of life. The biggest things in my life, traveling with Remote Year, doing this Timeless Wisdom training, moving to LA, moving to New York, being in Mexico, like having this YouTube channel, like there's so many things in my life that I really couldn't have predicted. It all just worked out how it should be, and then I got to have it, and it changed my life, and it opened me up to whole new experiences. Like I shot a reality show, like just random stuff. And so for me, if you do human design, I'm a projector and I'm a non-specific manifester. So for me, it's really about the feelings. It's really about how I'll feel when I get all these things that I think I want versus any of the specific things that I want. So for instance, I was reflecting on being an actress because I have a very expressive way about me. I'm very, beautiful. And I think I could learn some lines and like say them, right? And I love a camera, I love a story, I love movies, the whole thing. So I was like, okay, I could become an actress. And actually was just watching Kelly Stamps, and she was talking about this exact same thing about how she knows in her heart that she's supposed to be this star and this writer, actor, director, producer thing. And it was so interesting because I had a similar sort of feeling of like, yeah, that's what I want. But then when I really thought about it, I was like, Do you actually want that? Or do you mostly just want to hang out with creative people, have a really fun cast dinner with a bunch of other beautiful, talented, creative artists? And I was like, yeah, I don't actually want to lose myself in a role. You know, like, anything you want, y'all, you do. Everything I want, I do. I want to live in Mexico, I live in Mexico. I wanted to have a YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel. Like, if there's something I want, I do it. If I was serious about being an actress, I would take an acting class. Like, it's not hard. You just Google acting class, and I would take a class, and I would like learn the trade, I'd learn the skill, and then I would like go to like Backpage. Is that the one or is that the sex one? I'd go to the one that's for acting. I think it's Backpage, but I don't know. And then I would audition for roles, and then I would get one, and then I would get a manager. Like, we know the path. It's straightforward. You just have to do it. And it's like, yeah, I don't actually really, like, I really just want to have fun with my friends. And my friends are beautiful, creative people. And when I reflected on hanging out, I went to this like YouTube event. It wasn't with YouTube, but it was like hosted by this YouTuber, and it like invited other YouTubers and other creatives. And it was super fun, and we had great conversations. But what I noticed was that there was a lack of depth that I really get when I'm involved in the spiritual community, and when I'm talking to people who are like really focused on their healing and on their self-worth and on their growth. And when I was at the timeless wisdom training at that retreat, all of the conversations were incredible. There wasn't a bad conversation because everyone who was there was so focused on their healing, was so connected to their light and to their spirit, and was interested in like deepening that connection, that every conversation was like beautiful and emergent and interesting and challenging and like new and dope. And I didn't miss the lack of like, so what's your YouTube video? You know, like I didn't miss the like industry conversations about creating and about YouTube and about media. I really was fully in on what we were talking about. And this is something that I think I cut out of the video, but I made a video that was a follow-up to me quitting my job, and it was when I was in Costa Rica. I really went to Costa Rica, y'all. I really am out here living. And I talk about how as soon as I encountered Thomas Hübl's work, I was like, oh, I'm gonna end up being involved somehow. Because I had yet to meet in my entire life anything that I was like, this is the answer. Like, healing is actually the answer. All these other things that I thought mattered, they don't matter. All that matters is being connected to God and healing your trauma. A part of me was like, but what about your YouTube channel? Like, but what about, you love to make your little videos though. And so there's a part of me that's very attached to my identity as a YouTuber and as a creator and as an artist. The journey for me is figuring out how I can embody my light and my healing and my commitment to God and spirituality and growth while I continue to create and create in a way that really makes true impact, not just sort of grows my channel for the sake of growing my channel. So essentially, like, I have no idea what I'm gonna be doing in 5 years. I actually don't have no idea what I'm gonna be doing in 5 months. Like, I literally have about 19 days of my life, I've got like a month of my life planned out at this point. And I have like events, mostly those retreats that I'll be going to in 2024. 2023. Other than that, truly, I am letting life, I'm letting God take me moment by moment by moment by moment, because I know that anything I come up with, it'll pale in comparison to what God can come up with. And one of the main things I learned from the Abraham Hicks world is that all the things we say we want them because we think they'll make us feel good. That's the only reason we want the house and the kids and the relationship and the job and the car and the money and like, we think, oh, when I have all this money, then I'll be able to like, oh, I'll be able to relax and have fun and be enjoyed. Once I get my man, then I'll be able to this and that and this and that. And we wait on these external things to make us feel good. But actually, we can just choose to feel good right now. And when we choose to feel good, and as we choose to feel good, we call in those things anyway. I also read this book called Bustin' Loose from The Money Game. And it talks about how once you sort of bust loose and you realize this is all a hologram and we're really just out here creating our life essentially, you kind of stop making plans and goals because you know it like doesn't matter. Like, all that really matters is reclaiming your power from all your trauma and living life moment to moment. And I read that book and I was like, yeah, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I don't have any like 5-year goals. I'm just gonna keep vibing and living. There's things I'd like I'd love to be in a healthy relationship. Though as I say that, I learned about this thing called non-personal awareness. So you say a phrase like, the energy of being in a healthy relationship is not personal. It's not personal. And I'm willing to experience it. And when I said it with that phrase, I was like, am I willing to experience it? Because what I have learned about relationships is that we think relationships will be this like, oh yay, I'm in a relationship. But actually, it's relationships that poke you in your eye, according to Terry Real. Like, the people that we attract are specifically designed to poke at all our trigger points and encourage even more growth. And I don't want that part right now. I just want to vibe and heal on my own timeline. But if I get in a relationship, then the function, the nature of being in that relationship will mean that stuff will just get poked and pushed on. And I'm already in the timeless wisdom training. I don't need any more stimulus for healing, all right? It's already so much. I basically cry every single day. I don't need any more stimulation of my trauma points to heal, all right? So actually, don't even really want that healthy relationship. Like, I'm like, if it comes, I'll be like, fine, I guess I'll do this now. But I'm not like even excited about that. So all I really want is to like keep hanging out, keep healing my trauma, keep like meeting dope people and having dope conversations, keep exploring the world, keep living in dope cities, keep eating good food, keep having beautiful skin, keep twerking up on people. Like, basically the life I have now. That's very literally the life I actually have right now. And that's how I know I'm winning. It's because there's not something that I don't have that I'm like, if I just had this one thing. It would be nice to be out of credit card debt. That'd be nice. But I only want that because I'll be able to be like, make a video and be like, hey y'all. Like, literally all I want, y'all, is to make a follow-up video to that video about having that credit card debt. That's like, guess what? I paid it off. I have a whole video idea. I don't know if I'm gonna make it though, so I'll just tell you about it now. Part of the reason why I didn't want to make that video is because I know people are always looking for reasons and excuses to not change their life. They're always looking for someone they can point to and say, look, they did the thing that I want to do and they're not doing well. They're not successful and they're struggling. So I'm justified in staying where I am. I'm justified in staying small. I'm justified in not growing. And I didn't want to be a person for anyone to point to and say, this is the reason why I will not try. This is the reason why I will not live. I didn't want to give anyone any ammunition. So I really want to make a follow-up video that's like, I paid off all that debt. So stop making excuses for why you're not doing what you want to do, okay? There's no excuse that's worth it. So that's just a little word right at the end. Just a different change, just a different tonal shift. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for asking it. I love you. Thank you, Patreon people. Y'all are the best. Leave me a comment below if you just want to talk about whatever, because I love talking to y'all. If you want to have a private conversation, if you want to get yourself some accountability, you can put some time on my Calendly. And I also have a coaching page, Coaching by Chimdi on Instagram, if you want to follow me there. All right, y'all. Bye.